But just to finish up what I was just talking about, that's what I get for being too nice, too understanding, too forgiving, right? Because you let one thing slide, you let one thing be okay, and then people is just testing you to see how much they can get away with. And they got away with a lot. They got away with telling lies. They got away with telling different fucking, like, I don't know, right? But all the things that I overheard, all the conversations that I overheard, none of it was nice, and none of it was in favor of me. Everything was in opposition of my relationship with my ex-wife. Everything was in opposition to the way I live my life. Just because I smoke a little weed, I got to pay for the sins of my grandfather, right? Just because my father never smoked, my father drank so much fucking alcohol, and that shit, that caused, I don't care what nobody say, I don't even care what he says, that caused a whole wedge to be drawn in between me and him believing other people over me. You raised me to be better than you. You raised me to do the right thing, and I'm doing it, and I'm telling you the truth, and I'm still getting punished for shit that other people do. I do my own thing, and I make my own mistakes. I get it. Crucify me for that. Don't crucify me for the shit that your daughter decides to do, and then you want to tell me, oh, y'all both always do shit. No, we not. I went to school to get good grades, and I got good fucking grades, and you told me you wasn't gonna pay for my college thing. My sister got to go to college. You told her not to leave and not to go to college in another state chasing after a man. She did that against your wishes. She did that against your telling her. You're her father. She didn't listen to you. She didn't even listen to her stepmother, right? I stayed there, and that's why. Because I was always trying to make my father proud of me. I was always trying to do the right thing. That's why I was always looked at as green. That's why I always looked at as the one that people could fuck with. That's why I was always looked at the one that people could think they could do whatever the fuck they want. And that's why I always had to fight. And that's why I walked around with a chip on my fucking shoulder, and I was gonna kill anybody that ever fucking tried to step in my fucking way. Till this day. You would die. You try to stop my fucking... You would die if you try to stop me. There's more ways to die than one. But being too nice and being too kind and being understanding and being a loving brother, being a loving, a loving friend, being somebody that I didn't have. I was being that to everybody because I didn't have it, and them people that I was being it to didn't fucking deserve it. And now I'm sitting here traumatized, lonely, picking myself back up off of the pieces that other people threw stones and broke and told lies and prevented, stopped me from being able to live just so I could be stuck in the fucking situation. They wanted to prolong my future until I died. My own sister told me she wouldn't file for me to get my fucking green card, even if I paid the full price. Everything was gonna be paid for. She got everything handed to her on a fucking platter, and she wouldn't even scratch her ass to fucking help her brother out. Got a whole fucking apartment. I got a job, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my apartment. Y'all trying to leave and get a house. I'm like, let me get the apartment, sign it over into my name. No. You wouldn't scratch your ass to help your own fucking blood. Every single day of your life, you chose your friends over me. Every single day of school, I had to hear your friends come up to me and tell me why your sister talks so much shit about you. Like, yo, people think I'm not used to being alone. People think I'm not used to being a lone wolf. I never seen a dog kill a wolf in my life, and I never will a day. You never will see a dog kill a wolf in your life. And if I'm a lone wolf and you dog-ass motherfuckers want to think that you can nibble at my feet, a wolf could take down a whole pack of dogs. One person drop, and everybody see that one person drop, and everybody start shitting their pants. Give a fuck about no goddamn group. This is my passion talking. I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate, especially about things that happen in life where people are oppressed and people are prevented from living. them Chinese, the ninjas, and when I watched Ninja Assassin and they had all them children in the school tying the branches down to the tree and having dogs and animals in cages, I don't believe in that shit. If you can't have an animal roam free around you, like I was walking in the grocery store yesterday and I seen a brother, tall brother with a big fucking, one of them big black dogs that you would see, you know, guarding the king, like one of the king's dogs, had no leash, walking into the grocery store with it. I was like, y'all going into the grocery store, you don't even got a leash? The dog walking right behind him. Ain't bark, ain't sniff, ain't do nothing, ain't even looking nobody direction, just minding their business in the store next to me too. I look over, I see the man, and I walk, the dog laying on the ground just like this. I'm like, yo, he got the dog in this. I wish I was recording. One of the times that I go to a grocery store, it was a brand new grocery store. I've never been in there. I should have been on live. I would have been like, whoop. Took a little video of that real quick, show y'all brother in there with his guardian. Ain't nobody gonna tell him nothing. And I seen another dude, old Caucasian guy, and he had to put the driver cart, and he had his dog, big golden retriever, but he had his on a leash. You know, them golden retrievers, they'll run after all the children just to play. My friend Scano, he got a golden retriever. I don't know if he's still alive. His name's Seamus. Shout out to Seamus. That boy, that dog is playful, friendly, big as all hell. You would think you would be scared of that dog, but that dog coming to you shaking his whole body. Not even just the tail. The dog coming to you shaking his whole body. He want to lick you and jump on you and kiss on you and all that. Like, animals is just so loving. So I ain't mean to use the terminology of dog killing a wolf. It's just my passion talk. But I said I was gonna be on here watching videos. I decided to come on here making videos. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And this kind lady, man, I gotta start being kind to myself again, because it's like me not being kind to myself. That's what my sister wife will want, because she wanted to be me so bad. She copied every single thing I did. Every time she see me come out of my bedroom wearing something, she would be wearing whatever she wearing. She come outside wearing the same colors. She see me do something, she come outside do the same thing. She get off of work, I'm there playing music, or I'm there having a good time or whatever. She start an argument with the children. She start cussing and yelling at my sister. They start arguing. They start cussing at the children. They start threatening and saying all bunch of shit to the children. All that just to get me mad. All that just to get me riled up and to traumatize the children, because when the children grow up, they're not gonna forget that their mom and their mom, they're not gonna forget that their moms was talking to them the way that they was talking to them, was treating them the way that they was treating them. My nephew's gonna find out that his father's alive when his mom was telling him that his dad is dead. My father had to find out that his mother was alive when he was 18. My grandfather told my father that his mother was dead. My father found out that his mother was alive when he was 18. So my father built a hate for his father, and that hate transferred to me, especially when I started smoking. Family trauma, I cut that shit out. I healed all that shit. I did all the shadow work for everybody in my family, right? That's why people feel like they don't need to be doing anything, or they don't need to ask nobody for forgiveness that they hurt, right? They want to go and ask God for forgiveness, right? But you ain't hurt God. You didn't abuse God. You didn't neglect God. You didn't abandon God. God didn't have nothing to do with this. That's why I be telling, when people talk to me about the Bible and all that shit, I don't want to hear it, because you covering up shit that you don't want to take responsibility for. If I hurt somebody, I take responsibility for that shit. I make sure and I tell people my bad. If I break somebody's heart and I do something wrong to somebody, I take responsibility for that shit. I took responsibility for my marriage not working in every fucking relationship before that. I told my wife, before I broke up with her, before the shit went wrong, I told her that she was my karma. I told her she was my karma for all the girls, like what Jay-Z said, all the bad decisions I made, all the sisters I played, because I'm still paranoid to this day. And this ain't nobody's fault. I made the decisions that I made. This ain't the life that I chose. This is the life that chose me. Now, if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack. And that's real. Some people can't tell lies, so they rather stay away from people because they're not able to tell lies. Imagine Dragon made the song Bad Liar. I'm a bad fucking liar. If I tell you a lie, you're gonna know immediately that I'm lying. I'm probably gonna tell you I'm lying right after I'm fucking lying, because it's that it's not just the guilt feeling. It's just that the fear part, the fear aspect. When you lie is because you're afraid, because what's gonna happen if you tell the truth. You tell a lie because you're afraid to be accountable, or to be afraid to have to do the work that you messed up. You're afraid. That's why I used to ask people what you afraid of, and they used to get so mad, like, I ain't afraid of shit. Fuck you asking me? I'm afraid for I ain't. That's fear right there. That's fear right there. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of dying dormant. I'm afraid of dying like that volcano that never got to erupt. I'm afraid of dying like that child that never got to grow up. I'm afraid of dying like that man that never got to mature. I'm afraid of dying like that motherfucking child in front of that corner store. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of dying without freeing another mind. I'm afraid of dying before my divine time. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. I ain't never been afraid of fucking snakes. So people were saying, oh, my biggest fear is snakes. My biggest fear used to be dying, because I didn't know where the fuck I was going. I didn't know where my grandmother was. I didn't know where my mother was. And I didn't know about heaven. I was still under 11 years old going to church, wondering why the fuck my mother not here and why the fuck my father hate me. So, understanding this, I understood a lot of shit before I turned 12 years old. I understood a lot of shit before I turned 11. I understood a lot of stuff before I turned 15 days old, okay? It takes people years to understand what I understand. People are practicing magic and lighting candles and doing libations. That's third grade elementary magic. That's elementary magic. You don't see Professor Snape and all of them motherfuckers singing out the spells before they wave their wands. They just wave their wands and your shit go flying. The master magician don't gotta look in the book and flip cards to see what the fuck is going on in the atmosphere. A prophet don't need to flip cards and read palms and read fucking and read coffee stains in the bottom of a glass to tell you what the hell is gonna happen. I made a post about not getting the time of day, even if the clock was analog, and it was 1:23 PU on Rams Day. But now I don't even look at the clock. When darkness fall, I watch my little light shine. That means I rise with the sun. And that's my divine time.